It takes only a few seconds. In the time it takes you to blink, a phishing scam can empty a lifetime of savings from a bank account. We live in an era where our entire financial life is tucked inside our pockets. Yet we often forget how thin the digital glass really is. Today, we're peeling back the curtain on a multi-billion-dollar industry built on deception. This isn't about complex code or brute force hacking. The trap often begins with something far simpler: a message you weren't expecting at a time you're most vulnerable. This is the story of how digital traps steal money in seconds, and why the most dangerous vulnerability isn't in your software, but in your trust. Stay with us, because what you're about to see could be the difference between a secure future and a financial nightmare. So, what exactly is phishing? In the world of cybercrime, phishing is the digital equivalent of a con artist. But here's the twist. In 2024, the landscape has undergone a tectonic shift. Fraudsters don't just hack systems anymore, they hack people. According to recent research, social engineering scams reported by financial institutions have increased tenfold in the last year alone. It's no longer just about suspicious emails from far-off lands. It's about authorized fraud, where you are manipulated into initiating the payment yourself. By tricking you into bypassing your own bank's encryption and multi-factor authentication, the criminal makes you their most effective tool. They leverage human psychology, authority, and urgency to make the impossible seem necessary. It's a sophisticated game of chess where you don't even realize you're a pawn until the board is empty. It starts with a click. One single impulsive tap on a link can change everything. Imagine receiving a text: "Your account will be suspended in 30 minutes. Click here to verify." Your heart rate spikes. You're busy, perhaps in a meeting or commuting. You click. In that split second, you've been transported to a digital mirror world. These links are the doorways to credential harvesting. Once you click, a script runs in the background, capturing your IP address, device details, and location. The scammer now knows exactly who they are dealing with. In 2024, smishing, or SMS phishing, has become the primary weapon of choice, often appearing in the same thread as your legitimate bank messages. It's a precision strike designed to catch you off guard, and once that door is open, the descent into the trap begins. One click is all it takes to hand over the keys to your kingdom. The trap is designed to look perfectly trustworthy. These fake websites are masterpieces of visual deception. They use the same logos, the same fonts, and even the same security certificates as your actual bank. A victim, let's call him Rahul, lands on a page that looks exactly like the portal he uses every day. He sees the HTTPS lock icon and feels safe. But look closer. These cloned sites often use homograph attacks, replacing a Latin O with a Cyrillic O. It's a difference of a few pixels that the human eye almost never catches. Scammers even mirror the bank's latest marketing banners to add a layer of fresh legitimacy. By the time Rahul enters his username, he's not talking to his bank. He's feeding a database controlled by a criminal network thousands of miles away. The craftsmanship of these traps is what makes them so lethal. As Rahul types his password, the illusion is complete. But behind the scenes, every keystroke is being recorded in real time. This is man-in-the-middle exploitation. The victim unknowingly surrenders full control of their digital identity. In some advanced versions, the fake site actually forwards the credentials to the real bank's site in the background, making the experience feel seamless. Rahul thinks he's just logging in, but he's actually providing the scammer with a live authenticated session. In 2024, attackers have automated this process using phishing-as-a-service kits. These kits allow even low-level criminals to deploy professional-grade traps that can scale to thousands of victims at once. For the victim, it's a quiet moment at a desk. For the fraudster, it's the sound of a digital vault door swinging open. Control hasn't been stolen, it's been voluntarily handed over. Then comes the final hurdle. The one-time password, or OTP. We've been told it's our ultimate shield, but in the hands of a social engineer, security becomes a vulnerability. Rahul receives a code. Simultaneously, his phone rings. A confident voice from the bank's fraud department, or so they say, claims they are stopping a 50,000 rupee theft from his account. To block this transaction, please read back the OTP I just sent you, the voice demands. This is the moment of peak tension. The scammer is actually the one initiating the transfer, and they need Rahul to authorize it. In 2024, attackers are even using AI voice cloning to mimic the exact tone of a trusted bank official. They use whisper tension to sound urgent but professional. Once Rahul speaks those 6 digits, the shield is gone. The very tool meant to protect him has just been used to rob him. This is the art of social engineering, hacking the human operating system. Fraudsters don't just use technology, they use fear, urgency, and authority to drive mistakes. They might mention your recent workplace from LinkedIn or cite a specific transaction to build an identity of trust. They create a controlled panic. When you're afraid, your brain's prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for logical thinking, shuts down. You enter a fight or flight mode, and the scammer is there to offer the only flight path. Just follow my instructions, and your money will be safe. It's a psychological masterclass. They might even tell you not to log into your account for 48 hours for a security update, a cooling period that gives them time to drain your funds without you noticing the notifications. They aren't just taking your money, they are manipulating your reality. Once the authorization is granted, the speed of the theft is breathtaking. Money moves faster than realization. Within seconds, lakhs of rupees are wired out of Rahul's account. But it doesn't stop at one transfer. The criminals often have a scripted escalation. They might claim the first transfer failed and ask for a second OTP, or they might pivot to your other linked accounts. Because digital banking is instantaneous, there is no undo button. By the time the victim feels that sinking sensation in their stomach, the funds have already cleared the initial destination. In 2024, these transfers are often automated using bots that can drain an entire savings account in under a minute. The efficiency is cold, clinical, and absolute. It's a digital heist executed with the precision of a surgeon, leaving the victim standing in the wreckage of their financial security. Where does the money go? It disappears into layers. This is the world of money mule networks. Stolen funds are rarely sent directly to the criminal's own account. Instead, they are fragmented and routed through hundreds of intermediate accounts, often owned by people who don't even know they are part of a crime. Some are work-from-home victims recruited on social media to receive and forward payments for a small commission. In 2024, there was a 94% uptick in these mule accounts. By the time a bank's fraud department begins tracing the path, the money has already been converted into cryptocurrency or withdrawn as cash across various borders. The trail goes cold almost instantly. This layering is what makes these scams so difficult to prosecute. The fraudster is a ghost, and the money is a shadow, vanishing into a global labyrinth of digital complexity. Then comes the silence. The realization hits like a physical blow. For victims like Rahul, the loss becomes real in an instant. It's not just about the numbers on a screen, it's about the house deposit that's gone, the children's education fund that vanished, or the years of hard work erased in a few minutes of conversation. The psychological toll is immense. Victims often feel a deep sense of shame, questioning how they could have been so stupid. But the truth is, these scams are designed to fool even the most tech-savvy individuals. The criminals aren't targeting your intelligence, they are targeting your humanity. The victim shock phase is where the true cost of phishing is revealed. It's a violation of trust that leaves a lasting scar. The money may be gone, but the feeling of being hunted remains. It's a heavy price to pay for a single digital mistake. Why can't we just catch them? Digital footprints are incredibly complex. Investigating these crimes is like trying to solve a puzzle where the pieces are constantly changing shape. Scammers use VPNs, encrypted messaging apps, and spoofed VoIP numbers to hide their location. They operate across international jurisdictions, knowing that local police often lack the resources for a global cyber manhunt. In 2024, attackers have even started using generative AI to create perfectly phrased, localized content that mimics specific regional dialects, making it even harder to identify the source. Banks have implemented behavioral biometrics, tracking how you type or hold your phone to spot anomalies. But for every new lock, the criminals find a new crowbar. It's a high-stakes arms race where the defenders are often one step behind. The complexity is the criminals' greatest ally, and the anonymity of the web is their fortress. Despite the sophistication, scams always leave signals. Learning to spot these warning signs is your first line of defense. First, beware of unexpected urgency. If a message demands you act now or immediately, it's a red flag. Real banks will never pressure you into a state of panic. Second, examine the source. Check the sender's email or phone number meticulously. Does it look official, or is there a strange character or a missing letter? Third, and most importantly, never, under any circumstances, share your OTP over the phone. A bank official will never ask for it. If you're ever in doubt, hang up and call the number on the back of your physical debit or credit card. Don't use the callback number provided in a text. Your awareness is your strongest weapon. By taking just 10 seconds to pause and think, you can dismantle the entire trap. Knowledge is the ultimate antivirus. Prevention is a lifestyle, not just a setting. Securing your digital life starts with small, consistent habits. Use dedicated banking apps rather than browser logins on your mobile. Enable biometric authentication like fingerprint or Face ID, which are much harder to spoof than passwords. Be skeptical of too good to be true offers or random security alerts. In a world where AI can clone voices and faces, we must adopt a zero-trust mindset. Verify every request, especially those involving your money. Financial literacy and fraud awareness are the twin pillars of a secure future. As we move further into the digital age, the tools of deception will only get better, but so will our ability to see through them. By staying informed and remaining vigilant, we can ensure that our hard-earned money stays where it belongs. With us, the future is digital, and with the right habits, it can be secure. Phishing scams don't succeed because our systems are weak. They succeed because our most human quality, trust, is exploited. The digital trap isn't made of code, it's made of psychological manipulation. But now that you know how the trap is built, you can avoid it. If you want to uncover more corporate secrets and protect your financial future, like, share, comment, and subscribe to Corporate Secrets.